What is going on, YouTube people? Neo here. Today to do a little deep dive into some baseball stuff. It's the All-Star break, and I want to talk baseball. A couple things I wanted to hit on. The main primary focus was I was very curious what Acuna's prices were doing since the ACL injury and how much his stuff has dipped. Because I am curious. I wouldn't mind picking up a few of his things on the cheap just to potentially move if they go or when they go back up next season. Because I think he'll be a slow, steady incline once he reaches the bottom. The trick is figuring out where the bottom is. So I looked at a bunch of Acuna stuff. Quick touch on, yes, the All-Star Home Run Derby, because that moved Pete Alonso's market for some reason. And just touching on a smattering of other key players. So before we dive in, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff down below. And we will be spending the entire video in Market Movers. If you want to check out the link to where I get all the charts and graphs, it is in the description below, along with a 20% off coupon code. So all that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. So the Acuna injury really sucked. It's just not fun for baseball, man. He was a blast to watch. I had a ton of fun watching him play in the early part of the season. And now he's out for 9 to 10 months. That's all of this season and probably at least a portion of next season. He'll be an interesting one on what to do with in fantasy drafts. You know, does he come back? What does his speed look like? What does his power look like? ACL tears aren't super common in baseball. These it's not like football and even basketball nowadays where, these are a regular occurrence. Now the technology's gotten a lot better. These guys recover a lot better from it, but still not what you want to see is a major knee injury on your young star. So I am intrigued in Acuna's dip solely from the perspective of getting in at a discount and then probably trying to sell it before he even plays a game, to be quite honest. Then I don't have to worry about complications, problems, or, maybe you can make enough profit that you can hold one nice card going forward or something like that. Currently, I only own 2 Acunas, a First Bowman Chrome PSA 10 and a Topps Chrome base PSA 10. That's it. That's the only 2 things I have. I would like to pick up some sort of refractor throughout all this, even if it's just a base refractor, but that's kind of my plan. Buy on this dip, maybe 1 or 2 cards, and then look to move them, next spring as the hype builds for his eventual return. Let's see, 10. If he was out the full 10 months, that would put him back like a month to month and a half in the next season. So maybe he's around for spring training to build the hype. I don't know. So let's kind of run through a couple of his key cards. Started with the First Bowman Chrome. Mentioned this one. I do own one of these. Just one. In a PSA 10. This one has been affected the least. I ran this back 7 days. He hurt the knee on the 11th. Or was it the 10th? I forget. What was Saturday? The 10th. So this was the knee injury day. So anything post the 10th is the dip. So on the 10th, it was at 346. It's currently at 275, and it got down to 270. Overall, over the last 7 days, it's down 11%. So a little dip there, but not much. And once again, this is the card that has been affected the least to this point. Not super low pop on this. 6K. Not nothing. Let's look at some of his higher end stuff. BGS 9.5. I had to go the BGS 9.5 here because they're just more common to find sales. And this was once again a tricky one because I had to go back. The last one sold on July 1st, which was prior to the injury. That went for almost just over $2,500. And then one sold just yesterday. I'm recording this right before the All-Star game starts. Recording this video, then you're going to watch the All-Star game. Sold for $1,725. So about a 30% dip and a kind of across the board 30% dip is kind of what we've seen to this point. As we look at some other stuff here, keep that 30% number in mind. It tends to be a little bit of a trend. Acuna bat down. This is kind of the go-to non-auto pro jersey card for him. It's short printed. There's only 485 of them in a PSA 10. This is kind of the go-to. Once again, one sold prior to the ACL tear at 24.25, and then we had one sale on Sunday at 17.75. So a 27% dip, 26.8 to be exact. Once again, kind of close to that 30% number on Acuna. Once again, that's definitely one of his more rare and more pricier cards. So that is now sub 2K, so 1700. How about his Topps Chrome? I ran his base, his pink, and his refractor. His pink, none have sold since the injury, so I excluded that one, or like one had sold. There wasn't enough data points to give us a clear picture on what's going on with that. But one refractor sold pre-injury for 530. One sold post-injury for 414. I can tell you right now, as I record this, PWCC has one ending in about an hour. It's sitting at 372 with an hour to go. So I'm guessing that gets over 400. We'll see. But when we come down here, 20% dip on his base. His base has gone from 186 to 147. And the refractor, since its last sale, down 20% as well. So a 20% hit on his chrome. That's his base chrome, and then the refractor. So 20 to 30% so far. Where do we think it ends? I don't know. And it might not go as low as we think. I feel like the cheapest prices are actually going to be in this week to 2 weeks after. And then I think they just kind of stabilize and just kind of slowly start ticking back up again. If I remember from like when Dak Prescott got hurt, I know different sport, different injury, but he was out for the entire season. His stuff took a dive for about 2 to 3 weeks and then was basically straight up from there. Wasn't a cliff, but it was just a slow, steady up from that point on. So I don't know if you want to draw conclusions from that or not. It's not apples to apples, but it's what we got. There's not really a great case of this happening recently, of a player of this level having this large of an injury to him. Moving right along, the star of Major League Baseball right now, Ohtani. He tried to put on a show last night, but I think his batting practice pitcher was actively trying to strike him out. I don't know what was going on with that. That guy was throwing terribly to him. Meanwhile, Alonso's guy was just perfect right down the pipe. But Ohtani's prices have obviously gone absolutely insane. These are his charts over the last 30 days. This is his 2018 Chrome base refractor and pink. So his kind of three main ones without getting into the crazier stuff. And you can basically see they've all gone up. There has been a little bit of pullback the last day or so. His base refractor got all the way up to 1100 and has pulled back to 900, which is still up a ton. Same with the pink. It capped out at 870 almost and is down to 820 now. And his base has been floating around that 550 mark for a while now. I posted about this on Tuesday morning. You know, his base PSA 10 chromes were going for eBay regularly for 550, and they were sitting on Star Stock for between 420, 400, 425, 450, give or take. So, you know, I bought one at like 4 something, like low 4s. And I think a few other people ended up buying some. I know I had at least one person message me saying that they snuck in and grabbed one, and we're going to have it shipped home. But once again, check these alternative buying and selling platforms. We've talked about MySlabs before. We talk about Star Stock a lot. Obviously, eBay is the big one, but when these prices spike on these guys, you can find deals on the other platforms. Because I think people just forget to update the prices, to be quite frank. And when stuff moves quick like this, sometimes things sit. People don't think to look there, and you can find deals. I've gotten tons of deals on undervalued slabs on both Star Stock and my slabs, more so Star Stock, but I've been beginning to starting to find them on my slabs as well as I spend more time on that platform. So always check the alternative buying platforms. Let's talk about Pete Alonso. If you were ever concerned about, man, I hope I'll always be able to make some money in this hobby. Case in point, Pete Alonso's card's going crazy because he won the home run derby. If you are not a Mets fan and not ridiculously attached to Pete Alonso, and you're not selling everything that's nailed down for Pete Alonso right now, I don't know what to tell you. This might not be the game for you. This is the ultimate sell. Sure, he hits a lot of home runs. He bats about, 250, 260, maybe 270 right now. I don't remember. Nobody cares about Pete Alonso. He is not the sexy Acuna, Soto, Vlad, Ohtani, Tatis, Lou Bob, Wander Franco, Jason Dominguez. He's just a boring first base power hitter that doesn't really do much else and hits for mediocre average at best. No offense. I had a couple of his stuff in the preseason that I sold on Star Stock, and I have a PSA 10 Topps Heritage floating around here somewhere that I need to get posted. But yeah, if you're not emotionally attached to Pete Alonso, you should probably be dumping as much Pete Alonso stuff as you can right now. This is just his base Topps paper, nothing fancy. There's 13,000 of these in a PSA 10. This went from $28 to $42, a 51% increase this is over the last 7 days, but you could obviously see it was a $30 card here and then up to a $42 card here. And pretty much all his stuff has done the same. I looked at his chrome, I looked at his refractors, I looked at his heritage. Everything's up about anywhere from 20 to 40%, depending on the individual card. Move it all. Sell it all. I just don't see a lot of long-term value in Pete Alonso. There's money to be stuck in better places. So sell it. Moving on. I just want to talk about a couple of the, I don't want to say forgotten about, but just some other guys. Forgotten about's not the right word. There's like one forgotten about guy and a couple guys starting to catch a little heat because their returns are pending. Devers is the forgotten guy. Me and Filmington talked about him. Step Back Sports Cards has been talking about him forever. He's always DMing me pictures of latest Devers pickups. I mean, go look at his numbers, like his statistics, and then go look at his card prices. It's a little crazy how affordable his stuff is. His PSA 10 Chrome base, $80. This is over the last 30 days. PSA 10 Refractor, $190. These were around $150 for the longest time, just sitting there. Pink at $150. These were around $100 for basically ever. Up 30%, up 40%. If anything, his Chrome base is lagging at $82. But yeah, his stuff's been slowly creeping up. But yeah, go look at Devers' numbers, man. What he's doing is pretty good. I think there might be a buying opportunity there. I'm beginning to catch the Devers fever. I don't know if I'll pick up anything, but he's intriguing to me. Eloy Jimenez coming back way sooner than I think anyone expected. Hit a home run in his first rehab start, and his prices are starting to move. This is over the last 14 days, and ignore someone got a steal. His PSA 10 Refractor was going for 140, then one sold for 150 or 160, and then someone snuck one, threw it up at best offer, buy it now at like 175, and they accepted a 115 offer just the other day, which seems crazy to me. Someone got an absolute monster steal on that one. A pink has not sold for a while, and his base got a little bit of a spike here, flattened out, and is slightly trending down, but he's due back a lot sooner than people thought, and the White Sox are going to have a deep playoff run. Does Eloy do anything? I don't know, but he is fairly low risk. His base Chrome is only $75. His base pink is $140. I'm going to call his base Refractor $150. I don't think you're not getting this card for $115. I have only bought one Eloy Jimenez card, and it was about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. I'll show that in a video probably tomorrow, maybe Friday, depends. Someone posted something on Star Stock for what I thought was just way too cheap. I was not looking to buy Eloy. It was one of those things where you refresh the Star Stock latest listing page and immediately something, you just look at something and you're like, that card's mispriced. So I grabbed it. We'll see what happens. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I may take it to I'll definitely take it to the National with me. I don't think I'm just going to immediately post it to sell, but we'll see. So Eloy stuff beginning to creep up and fairly low risk. I don't know what his upside is. Coming off the injury, he's definitely a big power hitter, but does he have the sex appeal, I guess, that this younger generation has? Not that he's old, but you get my point. So we'll see. Speaking of the young guys, Lou Bob, his stuff's starting to gain a little steam the last little bit as well. Base Chrome sitting at $63. That's the one. It actually dipped down a little bit. It was up to almost 70. 60 to $70 for this. I'm not the biggest Lou Bob guy in the world, but I just feel like, I don't know. That seems like a low risk. 60, $65, get a couple base chromes. If the dude has a good couple at bats when he first comes back, or just the hype of him coming back, I feel like you could make money on that. But maybe I'm wrong. His base refractor has creeped up. These were floating around 150 not too terribly long ago. They've been sitting at 175. Same with the pinks. These were sitting around 150-ish. These are up to 170. I picked two of these up in an off eBay deal for 125 a piece. That was in the mail day video about a week or so ago. I'm not looking to hold those long term. Into them, hang on to them, maybe take them to the National. Maybe someone from Chicago wants them. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I feel like I can move those right now for a slight profit, and do pretty okay with it. So, but his stuff's starting to, with the Eloy news, and now people are starting to follow the Lou Bob news. I haven't heard anything about him coming back yet, but I feel like it's just a matter of time. And once again, the White Sox are poised for a deep playoff run. So he has the opportunity to definitely hang around a lot longer than some of these other guys do. And then last but not least, I just wanted to touch on Vlad and Tatis really quickly. Their stuff's been kind of stagnant the last 30 days. I believe this is a 30-day chart that I pulled for this. Always got to double check. Yes. 30-day chart. This is Vlad's base refractor pink, Tatis base refractor pink. It's essentially been flat, and they've been playing very well. Go look at Vlad's numbers if you want to see some insane numbers. And even Tatis, go look at his home run totals versus the number of games that he's played, and it's kind of crazy. And I've talked about this before. I really think these guys are just getting overshadowed by Ohtani. I've talked about this a ton now. And I think there's buying opportunities on non-Ohtani baseball players. Whether it's Vlad, Tatis, Soto, Devers, whatever. I would have said Acuna prior to this. I mentioned it in the Sunday video too. I think there's plays to be made on the non-Ohtani stuff if you are looking to buy baseball. I really do. Go dig into your homework, look at the player, compare them to the other players. And I just think there's opportunity there, especially on, and I put my money where my mouth is. I spent about $3,000 on Vlad stuff. I think Vlad's way too cheap when you compare him to the other guys. He's an Ohtani injury away from AL MVP and Triple Crown. He's right there in batting average. He's not that far behind in home runs, and he's right there in RBIs. He has a legit shot for it if Ohtani slows down at all. So we'll see what happens in the second half. Maybe Ohtani's swing gets screwed up from the home run derby. That's always the thing people like to jump on. But I don't know. That's all I got for you guys and girls today. Hope the All-Star game was good. If something crazy happened, I don't know about it because it hasn't happened yet. And maybe that'll shift some of these prices around too, even though it shouldn't. I still can't believe. I'm not surprised at all. I thought we were all smarter than this, that the home run derby would move card market prices, but here we sit. But yeah, comment, sub, all the YouTube stuff down below. Catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.